We spoke in the last video about flow motion in the golf swing, actually allowing the golf club to swing rather than getting it too static. But one caveat to that we must remember, when we're actually moving our weight right foot to left foot, what we don't want to do is to move on to the outside of your feet, because from there, you imagine throwing a ball, it's going to be very difficult to get back. We don't have the time, basically. One of the key things I've found with the swing cat, and looking at a lot of the data of the PGA Tour players and discussing this with all the experts out there, the big right toe is essential to keep planted on the ground. So I just want you to feel that. I can see that very distinctly on the screen. When I'm swinging back, I can see that my right toe is gripping. Even though I've rotated, even though I've moved into the right side, my right toe is still engaged. Why that is so important, it engages my glutes. My glutes are the biggest muscles, and that's where I'm getting a lot of the energy into the golf swing, a lot of the power. So if you do find your big toes going out, one of the things you can do is actually place this force pedal under the inside of your foot. Now immediately that's put me onto the outside of my foot, which you'd start to think, oh, wait a minute, you're actually practicing what you don't want. And that is true, because what it's going to force me to do is actually apply a little bit of pressure now to the inside of my foot. Because I can feel I'm being pushed away, I'm going to have to actually work a little bit harder to keep my pressure down, and that really heightens my sensation. So rather than just using something to help you, actually work against yourself sometimes. We call it the Goldilocks effect, too hot, too cold. You're just trying to go to extremes to find out what does help for you. But the key message I really want to get over is try to keep the foot, the right big toe engaged, engages the glutes, and that's going to help us to hit the ball a lot more consistently and with more power. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to make all the environment a lot harder for me to do what I want to do. I want to keep my right big toe on the ground. So I'm actually going to push myself now. So I'm going to move the stage. So basically I'm now tilting this way. Everything's forcing me onto the outside of my right foot. I'm going to use the force pedal to put on the inside of my foot. So again, that's already pushing me there. And you can see with this really excessive slope, everything is going back to make it a lot harder for me to keep on the inside. What that's going to do is really force me to engage all the correct muscles to work that big toe, to really feel that my foot is flat. So I'm really going to be a lot more aware. My senses are going to be heightened to what I want to achieve. One of the reasons I use slopes in my teaching and in my own personal practice, it creates an adaptability. I'm not just set in one position and learning one movement, but it's allowing me to feel safe that at the moment everything is falling down to the right. So I can actually swing now. My body will react. My body's not going to let me fall down that hill. That's what the brain's for. It's going to stop me falling down. So it's going to make the right adjustments. I'm a little bit more heightened because I've talked about my right big toe. I want to keep that in place. Everything's forcing me. I've put the force pedal under my inside of my left foot, so everything's forcing me this way. The slope, the force pedal. I'm now going to work on just swinging back and feeling that I'm trying to, I really feel that there, trying to really keep it on the inside, and then I can move into the ball and through. So I'm working very forcibly to get all those positions. Now when I actually do go back to a level playing field, it'll feel so much easier, because I've just allowed the slope to make my body make the adjustments. I'm not trying to physically do it. Apart from just being aware of my right big toe, I'm just allowing the swing to happen and see what does occur with the swing catalyst. But ideally, pushing yourself into slopes is a great way to learn to be adaptable, and that's really what we need on a golf course. It's not just one swing, it's not just one position, it's a multitude of positions and swings that you're going to have to find. So try a slope, see if it helps your game, but remember the overriding message is trying to feel that right foot is really nicely set as you move into it in the backswing to enable you to shift into the left and really push off that left side.